Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys what to do after you finish the item burning, how to replace all of the item burning gear, what to do after your 260 on your item burning character. Maybe it's your main, maybe you want to progress this character even further. Whatever it is, this is going to be the perfect video for you to help you out and understand a lot about this game and tell you what to do, essentially. Yes, I know my head is messed up. I know. It's crazy. I had to cut my hair off. If you've been missing out on the subathon, if you've been missing out on the Twitch stream, that's an L on you. But yeah, I'm about to just get violated forever for this. Anyways, let's continue. So I'm sure a lot of you guys might have finished your item burn by now, or maybe you're about to finish it. So you have the full 18-star CRA and APSO set. I'm also aware that the item burning has the challenger set bonus, so it's better than just regular CRA and regular APSO lab set. So it can be a little bit tricky to replace this gear, and also the gear expires. So for me, it expires on March 19th because I claimed it pretty early on in the event. Some people, if they started item burning like right now, for example, they'll have even more time to replace the gear. So the question becomes, do I even bother getting APSO labs? Like, should I get CRA? When do I get it? Because I have this stuff for now. Should I spend my money on the replacements now or what? Like, what do I do? So I've thought about this a lot, and obviously I'm facing this exact same issue too because my stuff's going to expire, and if I don't have this gear, then I'm going to be weak. So I'm going to tell you guys a bunch of stuff that you should be doing and what to do if you are unable to get the replacements in time. So the first thing that you got to understand about item burning gear is the item burning gear gives you a lot of damage for free. So you want to utilize this free damage to do things that you otherwise could not have done previously in a normal early game progression. So right now I'm sitting at 12.7 mil CP. If I fix my Legion board, I'll be at 14 million CP. Now, obviously, some of you guys might not be at this. You might not have as much Legion or anything like that. But just to show you my gear real quick, I got these items to Legendary just for free with like free cubes and stuff. And I happen to roll 2-line on them. This is the free Dominator you get. And these are just boss accessories with like 3% to 6% strength. So you get these from daily bosses. My secondary is 6 and 3%. Obviously, if this was legendary, I'd be much stronger. And my emblem is 1 line of attack at 9%. So this gear isn't anything too crazy. Yet I'm able to work on replacing the challenger set. But the reason why I don't need any crazy gear is because the challenger set is so good. It's so good and you could get so far with it while you have it. So something that's very, very, very important that you need to do while you have this gear for the like 4 months that you have it is please make sure you do Golux every single day. Please make sure you do Golux because the Golux set is super, super strong. And these two items, the superior pendant and the superior ring that you have to buy with Golux coins, are very expensive and they take about a month of doing Golux daily just to get one of them. But if you were to get the 4-piece sup within the 4 months that you have the item burning gear, you will be way, way, way stronger because then you'll have another ring, you have a really strong belt, you have another pendant, and you'll have another really strong earring. So it'll give you a lot of damage. The superior Golux set will help make up so much of the damage. And if you don't know how strong you need to be to solo Golux, I made a whole video about Golux, which I'll have linked below, but it's really not that hard in terms of damage output. It's just a little tricky because Golux has a lot of one-shots that make it annoying. There's also no practice mode. You could only enter the boss once a day. Even if it takes running with a friend, like duoing the boss or even trioing the boss, just make sure you clear Golux every single day so that you can get these Golux coins. It's super important. Next thing that you want to do is clear Arcarium. Make sure you solo normal Arcarium every day. It's super easy to kill, but you want as many clears on this boss as possible because you want to start collecting Dominator pendants, not the fake one that you get for free. You want the real Dominator pendant, which is a very strong item you could use to replace this or use it to transfer stars to the superior pendant that we just talked about earlier. Also, another low-key way of helping you out when you're trying to replace your item burning gear is by making sure you have a full stomach using channel sponsor HelloFresh. Yeah, because honestly, like if you are trying to grind this game and you're hungry, it's only going to make you have negative rates because you're going to be spending a lot more time making food, which obviously isn't ideal. But if you use channel sponsor HelloFresh, which it has international availability for using my link down below. You could get a fat discount internationally as well, 10 free meals on your first box as well. And if you don't want to try it, that's fine. You could just cancel after the first week. It still supports me, and you could get some good food for a very low cost. You can choose what type of diet helps you out. You could choose how many people you're feeding, how many meals per week. For me, since I'm just one dude, I choose the minimum, and you're able to get a week's worth of food for like $22. Like, to me, I feel like that's a really good deal. I don't know where it is where you guys are from, but at least for me, this is a very good deal. Dude, I was out there cooking steaks on stream. I was out there boiling rice. Yeah, I was boiling rice, doing really complicated things, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I do recommend it. And it is a good way of helping me out if you want to. There is 5 days left with my promotion. So December 20, I don't think my promotion will work anymore until the next time we get the HelloFresh sponsorship back again. So yeah, I just wanted to plug that in real quick if you want to try it out. And let's get back right into the video. So we've just been talking about accessories so far, right? Like Golux set and Dominator pendant. Let's talk about how you replace the actual items in the item burning slots. So like hat, top, bottom, armors, weapon. Like, how do you replace these items? So first of all, CRA is really easy to replace. Obviously, if you have the item burning gear, you should be killing your weekly bosses. Please kill your weekly bosses so you get all of the materials, money, and whatever else you get from these weekly bosses. Kill them so you get everything. Very, very important to do so, especially CRA, so that you can replace the fake CRA with real CRA at some point, right? Now, even if you just get this to 17 stars, it's still not that much worse than 18-star challenger set. Now, ideally, you would save money and get your real CRA that you claim to like maybe 21 stars or something on an event. There's a lot of events. There's a Shining Star Force in 2 weeks. There's 5, 10, 15 a little bit after that. And you can save money, get to 21, and then you can immediately replace them, and then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it again. But even if you just keep it at 17, it'll still be fine, because keep in mind, these items are not at legendary, and they only have 2 lines of potential. So if they were at legendary, even just legendary 2-line, it would have a better pot, and that would help make up for the challenger set effect. These do have really good flames on them, so like it'll be hard to replace it through the flame, but it'll still be not that much worse even just at 17. But what I would do is I would just save money until I can get these to 21 on an event, and then just wear those. Now, how do you replace the Apsos? So there's 2 methods that you can do, in my opinion, to replace the Apsos. So if it was me, if I wanted to be extra safe, I would do the Scrapyard and Dark World Tree weeklies every single week. Now, Scrapyard and Dark World Tree weeklies, obviously, can be annoying to do. I'm going to have a chart linked below on which Scrapyard weeklies are annoying and which ones are easy, so that you know which ones to do and it saves you time. The Dark World Tree weeklies, you could do pretty much any quest and they'll be fine. And when you do these weeklies, it gives you these coins, right? These like Diffusion Line Energy Core and Fate Stigma Spirit Stone. You can use these coins along with the coins you get from killing the bosses, Lotus and Damien, to buy Absolab armors. Now, you get the weapon from Dark World Tree and you get the shoulder from Dark World Tree, but here at Scrapyard, you get the gloves, shoe, and cape. And then that way you could replace the Apso with 5 set. Now, I would do these weeklies every single week, not only for your item burn character, because you can replace your Apsos, but you would also want to do these for other characters in your account in the future anyways. So it's important to do them every week, even if you don't necessarily need them for this character, but regardless, you should do them every single week so that you can stack up these coins, and in case you want to buy Apsos, you are able to. Now, the other method of replacing these is for people that are more funded, so somebody like me. Now, obviously, a lot of people won't be able to do this, but I'm going to share it anyways, just because some people will be able to. And that's by trading carries. So the item burning gear gives you enough damage to leech Hard Lucid, Hard Will, Sea Gloom, Varus-Hilla, and Darknell, all at their hardest difficulties. It gives you enough damage to 5% in these bosses, so you can start getting arcanes to drop. Now, obviously, it's not as simple as just entering the boss and sitting there AFK and then you get loot. It's still a chance to drop, so it's not guaranteed. And you have to know how to play your class properly so that you're able to do the 5% damage requirement in the boss so that you can get drops. Now, this is like a more higher level thing to do, because if you want to trade with somebody, then you'll also need somebody on your account that can solo these bosses, and you could trade with someone. Alternatively, you could just join a party, right? You can create a party yourself and look for either like a H. Lomian party, H. Luo party on your item burn character. And yes, the item burn character is strong enough to join a party. Like if you were to get 6 of these characters, clone them, item burn characters that just have like item burning gear, basic accessories, you would be able to clear at least Hard Lucent, Hard Will, and Hard Lomian. Hard Lomian drops Apsos, Hard Lucent and Will could drop Arcanes. So you can use those bosses to replace this gear. And again, I know not everybody's able to do it, but I would at least encourage you guys to try and at least make a party or join a party. Try to join a party in any way so that you have a chance of at least getting these arcanes. But if you don't want to do that, then you're going to have to do the Scrapyard and Dark World Tree weeklies to replace the Apsos. Now, I got lucky. H. Lucid run, I got an arcane weapon to drop, right? My weapon is already replaced. If this expires, I just have the arcane weapon in the back, and I'm going to keep running the other bosses, and hopefully I get a bunch of armors. But if I don't get any armors, I'm going to do these weeklies and try to get the Absolab set. That's my plan. So on the screen here is this chart that shows how much damage you need to do in a boss to get loot. So this is the 5% chart, which I will also have linked below. And if you are able to do this much damage on each of these bosses, then you can get loot. This is how you get blue dot on the heroic world. And if you want to know how much damage you're doing in the boss, go to your keybinds and keybind something called battle analysis. Battle analysis is a super useful tool on this game. So for example, let's say I enter Hard Lotus, right? And it says Hard Lotus 1.66T. I think it's a little higher now. I think it's actually like 1.8T or something because Lotus got revamped. I would just use my battle analysis, turn it on, right? Let's say I do my whole burst, blah, 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 right? Like, you know, I use my origin, this and that. You can see that it tells me how much damage I'm doing. Like it's going up and up and up and up and up. And now I'm at like 1.7T, right? Now shields and multiple mob damage also contributes to your battle analysis, so it could be inflated. So I would say you want to go like a little bit over the 5% mark just in case, right? But now that I'm at like 2T, like I for sure have done over 5% of the total boss's HP, and now I would be eligible for loot. So you really want to do this when you are just trying to do the bare minimum. Like if you're trying to get 5% from a run, you want to make sure you put the battle analysis out, look at the chart, see how much damage you're doing, and this way you'll know for sure if you're going to get loot or not. Because now that I'm at like 2.3T, for example, I just don't really even have to hit the boss at all, technically. Like I could just worry about surviving and I know I'll get loot. Because I usually always say like, oh, make sure you're doing 5%, but a lot of people actually don't know how to check if you're doing 5% or not. And it's by using the battle analysis, and it'll tell you if you did 5% or not. Now, another thing that you should be doing with the item burning gear while you have it at least is use this free damage that the game gives you to make meso and drop gear. Now, if you don't know what meso drop gear is, I'm going to have a video linked below. I'm going to tell you how you could get money in the first place to even get it, to get the meso drop gear. But you can utilize the event resources and whatever money you get from training to make meso drop gear. This gear gives you the damage you need to be able to one-shot Incernium. As long as you have some basic link skills, some legion. If you don't know how to one-shot properly, I will also leave a link down below to a video on how to one-shot mobs properly. It's surprising how much damage you can get if you just optimize your legion links and stuff like that. Hyper stats even more, and then you will able to be one-shotting. You will be able to one-shot the Sacred Force. You get Sacred Force, like you get like a level 5 symbol right away just from finishing your hyper burn as well. You'll be able to one-shot. So use this free gear to make training gear. Because training gear doesn't have strength lines on it or whatever stat lines, you would need to offset the damage you lose from the training gear on your other gear. And since the item burning gear is good, you can use it to get training gear, and then you can go mob and farm and do all that stuff. And the reason why that's so important is so that even if you farm just a little bit a day while you have this gear, you will definitely have more than enough money to start actually using it on the gear that needs to be replaced. So for example, like let's say, because this gear lasts till March, right? Let's say I farm 30 minutes a day until March 19th, and today's December 15th. So let's just say it's 3 months, right? Let's say I farm 30 minutes a day for 3 months, and I have the meso drop gear. Like I spent my money making meso drop gear, and now you're like, Duky, okay, I made my meso drop gear, I have my item burning gear, I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna train 30 minutes a day. Let's do a low ball, and let's say you make 200 million mesos in 30 minutes, which in reality you would be making around 300 mil if you farm properly. Let's just say you made 200 million mesos in 30 minutes. By the time your item burning gear expires, you will have had 18 billion mesos from farming. Just from farming 30 minutes a day. Obviously, if you farm more, if you loot better, you'll make even more money. That's not including the money you get from weeklies or anything like that. The point is, if you make training gear and you just train even a little bit before this gear expires, you will definitely have more than enough money to replace all of it. So as long as you're doing your dailies, as long as you're doing your weeklies, and you're at least training a little bit, you will be able to replace this gear 100%. If you leave it till the last week, you're like, oh, whatever, I'll worry about till the last week, then you're fucked. Like, you're gonna walk around with no gear. You're gonna be having to put on the rinky-dink pencilier again, or maybe a tyrant cape. So again, just to summarize, use the item burning gear to make training gear. Use the training gear to go train. You'll make enough money before this expires to actually fund the gear that you get that replaces it. Make sure you do your Golux and Arcarium every single day. It's very important to get as many clears on those bosses as possible. Make sure you do all of your weekly bosses so that you have the materials to replace the gear. Make sure you do the Scrapyard and Dark World Tree weeklies just in case you want to replace the Apsos in the future. And if you're somebody who's more funded and has more resources, go join a Hard Lotus, Hard Damien, Hard Lucid, Hard Will party, or trade with a different character, with a different person, and leech those bosses so that you can maybe get drops to start happening. That's my plan for replacing the item burn. If you guys have your own ideas on how to replace item burning gear, definitely leave a comment. Let's all try and help each other out. Pull up to the Twitch stream if you haven't already. It's definitely a lot of fun. Join the Discord too. It's super active. A lot of questions could be answered pretty quickly, whether it's by me or other really knowledgeable people. And obviously, if this video helped you out, maybe consider helping me out by subscribing, watching some of my other videos, or again, pulling up to the Twitch stream. With that all being said though, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much to my members, Blazefire, Shooms, Shagad, Ravi Espa, Koga, Piconir, Skittles, Dante Victory, CK, J, Blunt Poppy Supreme Oil Backwards, Vampiric X, Fresh and Juicy, Assassin, and Migu. I appreciate you guys so much, and shout out to everyone who submitted fan art. If you always want to submit fan art, it's in the Discord linked below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.